Good morning, Cougs. You are listening to Slice of Seattle on KUGR Cougar College Radio. It's a sports talk show where we're giving you updates, hot takes, and hopefully talk to some important people. I'm joined in booth today with the one, the only, Connor Simmons. How are we doing today, Connor?
What up, what up? I'm doing pretty well. I'm a little nervous,
Yeah.
as probably viewers at home and everyone here. Big Texans fan playing the Chiefs in about an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Depending how the next podcast starts, though, will depend how my mood is and everything
Yeah.
like that. But I am nervous, but I'm also excited to be here and talk sports with you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, it's a great day today. It's a chilly one here out in the Palouse, about 27 degrees. I think it's about similar to temperature out in Kansas City when they're playing. But, yeah, no, let's talk really quickly about Cougar sports. We'll start with the basketball team. They lost one to Pacific a week or so ago, and then they just lost one to Gonzaga.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little brutal. I mean, Gonzaga is just a great basketball program at the end of the day.
Well, no matter what happens, the thing was, I was very surprised that the Cougars, because we lost a lot of people, obviously, after a big March Madness run.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're a bridge school, so obviously people are going to leave. Jalen Wells is doing amazing in the NBA right now and everything like that. But I was very surprised. We brought a whole new coach, half of a new team, basically, and everything like that.
From Eastern
And we actually
Washington.
did very well in our actually succeeding. We connected really well way before I thought we really could. And we do still have a good record. Obviously, these last two losses haven't been too great to us. And
No.
Gonzaga should almost be expected. But injuries have hurt us. And honestly,
Totally.
I'm expecting Cougar basketball to be pretty good these next upcoming years and just building off this because it's only going to get better as long as the coach is here and he brings in his guys and so on and so on. People stay healthy. Cougars are a team to look out for. But as of right now, it's been a little iffy. Obviously, losses hurt.
Yeah.
That's going to happen. Injuries, it's going to catch up to us. It's getting towards later in the seasons. People are getting tired. Frustrations running when you lose to a team like Pacific. But
Yeah.
I think we look up from there. And
Yeah.
a team that did look up was the hockey team.
Oh, yeah.
Last night, 12-1 versus Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Temperatures flying, a couple fights started, but a lot of stuff is happening right now. Playoffs are on the rise. Cougars obviously to make it looking very well. If you guys ever want to listen, go to KUGR. Me and Smith are on the call.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever want a good hockey call, we're right there.
Absolutely.
Our voices are killing us from last night with how many goal
Honestly.
calls we had.
Yeah.
Ian Gold is about 2 points away from breaking the all-time point record. He's up
For
there
Wazoo,
with
yeah.
Alex Ovechkin, basically.
Yeah.
And then Miles Sagan had a great night with 4 goals. And
Yeah.
Alexia Cool almost had a shutout, only 1 goal let in, about a .950 save percentage.
Yeah. No, it was a great game just to watch it, to commentate it, and I mean, just you're getting goals from every single guy on that lineup.
Yeah.
And I mean, like you said, Miles Sagan had a hat trick, but then he didn't just settle for a hat trick.
Yeah.
He wanted to get 4. I mean, yeah, do it. I mean, Butch the Cougar was in attendance.
Yes.
He showed up. That was a great game. And there's another game tonight. Also, puck drop things out like 7:45. Like you said, we're gonna be on the call for that. It should be a pretty fun game. I mean, hopefully they put up another 12 double-digit, point performance. That would be absolutely amazing. But yeah, no, that's gonna do it for Cougar sports. We're gonna pivot. We're gonna talk about the Mariners. Some major news coming out of the majors, out of the Mariners the past week or so. And you probably have heard us on the show complain a lot. You probably heard a lot of different people complain a lot about the fact that we hadn't made any major acquisitions in the offseason. And just free agent after free agent was getting scooped up, and then we weren't making any effort to get anybody. But we have made some good acquisitions the past week or so. We picked up Donovan Solano from the Padres. We picked up Miles Mastroboni from the Cubs. And then we also picked up Shintaro Fujinami from the Orioles. Those are 3 great pickups, 2 infielders, and a pitcher. I mean, Donovan Solano, I think, is a great addition, I think, to help fill some of the holes we have in the infield.
Oh, 100%. And then going back to the Orioles pitcher, I think that's a great, low risk, high reward because he showed some potential, obviously, here and there, switching to the minors, and lots happening. But in a good bullpen like we have and good coaching staff and everything like that, I really think he can shine, and I think that's a great acquisition. But then again, we've had good pitchers, and we're still going to have good pitchers.
Yeah.
And so it's going to come down to the hitters at the end of the day. We've been talking about this for probably months now.
Yeah.
But I think if we're not going to spend big, spending little, and at least getting little money and little players with the high reward, I guess, it's something at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Still not too excited, but it's something.
Yeah. No, totally. I mean, yeah, you look at Shintaro Fujinami, he's got I think he's averaging about 100 miles an hour on his fastball or something like that. So I mean, he's just a flamethrower. I think he's a good kind of just closer pitcher to bring into onto the roster. And like you said, our pitching staff has been good for the past couple of years. I think just throughout the whole existence of the Mariners organization, we've always had great pitchers, and we've always developed really great pitchers. So you bring someone like that on, and you're just adding more depth to something that you already have a lot of depth in, which is great. But yeah, no, Donovan Solano and Miles Mastroboni, two great additions to the infield. So you're probably going to see, I believe, Donovan Solano probably at second base, and then Miles Mastroboni probably at third. That was the position I think he normally played for the Cubs. Both of them pretty decent hitters, and when you look at Donovan Solano, you look at his stats from last year. He was batting .286. He had an on-base percentage of 343, and he had an OPS of 760. And when you put it side by side with like the stats of Luis Reyes, right, who everyone was saying that like that could be someone the Mariners could get, he's got just a slightly lower batting average. He's got almost the exact on-base percentage, and he's got a better OPS.
Yeah.
So the way I look at it, it's a guy who, on paper, looks pretty similar to Luis Reyes. I think it's great picking up in the off season. So you bring him onto the team. He's got a little bit of time to work with us, get used to this team, maybe get used to the Marine layer, because that's one of the things that always kills really good hitters when they come to Seattle. That's what happened to Mitch Garver, really.
Yeah.
It was that you got a guy who plays for Texas, and then they come to Seattle.
Cold climate.
Yeah. Get the moisture in the air. It slows down the ball. So that ball that you hit, that everywhere else it would have been a home run, is a fly out to the warning track.
Yeah.
And so I think you get guys in here who can, if they can get familiar with how to play here, and then they can start the season off strong, possibly. That's what you hoped was going to happen for
Just
Mitch
get
Garver.
confidence off early.
Yeah.
That's all you need, because baseball is, I want to say, almost 50-50 mental. Like 50 mental, 50 physical, because it takes a lot.
I would say it's a lot. I think it's about 90% mental, 10%
100%.
physical.
You know
I think
baseball more than me, so.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, like, there are a lot of guys who you would look at them and you'd be like, this guy plays professional baseball. He looks out of shape. He doesn't look like he can run. Yeah. And then when you get down to it, the reason why he's successful, the reason why he is able to play in Major League Baseball is because he's just got the mentality that just forces him to be successful, that forces him to be better and everything. So there are guys who you look at them like, NFL players, physical specimens or something like
Derrick
that.
Henry.
Yeah, exactly. Super athletic, super coordinated, all that stuff. And they will probably not be able to last very long in the MLB because they don't got the mental toughness, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, I think both these guys, and if you look at the stats from Miles Mastroboni, had a bit of a rougher season last year. He had a batting average of 194, an on-base percentage of 245, and OPS of 469. Yeah. I mean, the batting average, the way I always think about it is if you have a batting average at about 180 or lower, that's a problem. That's like you are severely struggling.
Yeah.
And he's right around there. It's 194. He obviously had an off year in 2024. I would say it's probably gone for a bit of a bargain. I would say you build him up a little bit. He gets some confidence with Seattle maybe. I want to see both these guys, Donovan Solano and Miles Mastroboni, find a home with us. That's kind of the way that Capo Caco is starting to find a home with the Kraken, to be honest with you. They come on, they can fit in, and they just start to produce for us. And that's what I'm hoping both these guys do.
Yeah. And like we said, it's not a lot of money we're spending on them too. Like we said, like you just compared with Luis Reyes and stuff like that. It's like, okay, he's a little bit lower. Well, his money's a little bit lower. Way lower, in my opinion, than Luis Reyes. So
yeah.
It's
a
just
bargain.
High risk, high reward, or low risk, high reward, as I should say.
Yeah.
I truly just want to almost see the season start already.
Yeah.
Just to see how's this team looking, what's gonna happen, because like we said everything about the Kraken.
Yep.
And they didn't do anything. Like obviously they're not gonna do anything we said.
Yeah.
But they haven't done anything we said, and they're not doing too well and everything like that. But there's a little excitement in the air for the Mariners right now because there's the potential. Everyone looks at the potential. So.
Yeah, I mean, I swear every single year we make some kind of move or something like this, and I'm always just like, all right, this is our year. We're going to finally make the playoffs. We're going to finally do it.
Yeah.
And they find some way to disappoint us.
Whether it's one game.
Yeah, it's just what they do, but you're right. I mean, around this time of the year, I always get that feeling, it's getting closer and closer and closer. Spring training, I think, will start in, like, late February. Or middle of February, so I'm just getting. We're so close. We're getting closer every single day, and I want it to be here right now. Other major news too, from the MLB: Roki Sasaki signs with the Dodgers, and I mean, I don't want to say the season's already ruined, but I mean it's just
they signed everybody.
Literally,
they like, I truly don't just say that a salary cap has to be added.
Oh, 100%.
It is truly just not fair. You can call me, cry all you want, whatever, baby. No, it is not fair.
Mm-hmm.
It is not fair.
I mean, at the end of the day, it shouldn't be that the teams with the most money can just buy all the best players. That doesn't feel right to me. That doesn't feel fair. That's not how sports is supposed to work.
Yeah.
I feel like at the end of the day, it should come down to everyone should have a decent shot of getting decent talent and developing them. And it shouldn't be that, like, the way it always looks at it is like, the Oakland Athletics or the Seattle Mariners or the Angels or all these bottom teams, they're just farm systems for and you look at the league like the NHL, right? Or you look at anything that has a salary cap in it, where they stop it.
At one point, every single team has a little run.
Yes.
Like Colorado Avalanche has been known for a pretty small market for the most part, though. Colorado Avalanche, you can just hear in the name, but they won a chip less than 5 years ago and everything like that. You go Buffalo Sabres.
Yep.
Obviously they haven't won. I don't think they haven't won a title in at least a long time or ever.
Yeah.
But still, you have little runs. In the MLB, there is barely any of that.
Yeah, that's the problem when you think about it. Like what you say, every single team gets a run. Mm-hmm. In the MLB, the teams that have sucked historically continue to suck. It's the Oakland Athletics, it's the Angels, unfortunately it's the Mariners. Mm-hmm. We just don't have the money to compete with these larger organizations. And when you think about it, overall, that's bad for business. If you have teams in these cities and they never make playoffs, they never make a World Series championship, they never win anything, they never are good, you're just killing your own business. Because if you're an MLB fan and you know that your team is never going to win anything, they don't have the money to sign good players.
What's the point?
What's the point of even going to games, supporting the league, watching the games, because your team that is in your city
is never going to be there.
Exactly. But if you impose a salary cap, like how the NHL does, you get some of these teams to go make a World Series run, and all of a sudden, guess what's going to happen? More people are going to actually go to your games. Mm-hmm. More people are going to watch the games. More people are going to support the league. More people are going to find it entertaining, and you're going to make more money.
Exactly. When two good teams face off against each other, obviously the Yankees and Dodgers game ended in 5. Yeah. Those were great games, and there's two really good teams. But going to salary cap, look at the Detroit Lions. Mm-hmm. They're historically one of the worst franchises in NFL history.
Yep.
But they have had their chances at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You go back to the 80s, they had Barry Sanders.
Yep.
Didn't do too much. Obviously, they haven't won a Super Bowl ever, but Barry Sanders. Then you go to Matthew. Took a long time since that, but then you had Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson.
Yep.
2 Hall of Famers right there. And then now you're at the point where these are the best Lions we've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Like, and not just our lifetime, but going back to our parents' lifetime.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to say stuff like that. But at one point, you're gonna strike gold.
Yep.
With the salary cap, because at one point you're going to find the right guys in the draft, and it's all going to line up on a perfect timeline.
Yeah.
And the MLB, there's a good chance that never happens for teams, because first of all, you have to strike gold, which is already one of the hardest things to do in baseball.
Yeah.
Because it's straight up just a farm system. Who does the best?
Yeah.
So it's almost luck of the draw.
Yep.
And then the guys who are doing good, you can't even get them here in the first place.
Yeah.
You can't build anything.
No.
You truly can't build anything. Whether it's like an NFL team, okay, we have the first pick in the draft. Yeah. That guy can make a difference off the back. Let's just go Texans. Last year drafted C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson, first round. Mm-hmm. Those 2 guys changed it around. We were able to get some guys in free agency. Mm-hmm. Boom, salary cap, got the new head coach. Mm-hmm. Oh, now we just build up.
Yep.
You can't do that in MLB.
No.
You truly can't, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened already, honestly.
I know they're the one league that just won't
budge.
They won't budge about it. I mean, I would hope that they would, because like we're saying, it's so
I hope
much,
the Dodgers open their eyes at least
a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that they're digging themselves into a hole when they're signing all these guys, at least with Roki Sasaki and everything, and Shohei, and paying them all this money and deferring their salaries. I think it's gonna. At the end of the day, though, I don't think they care, because if they end up winning 4 straight World Series,
who cares?
Who's gonna remember that?
Yeah,
they're only gonna remember the fact that they won
they're in
4
debt
straight.
$800 million.
Yeah.
Oh, I won 4 championships.
They're gonna remember that Shohei has 4 rings.
Yeah.
But the other thing too with the Roki Sasaki signing too is that they announced it yesterday, and I think the Dodgers are under investigation right now because they believe that they violated the terms of a free agency, I believe, where they talked to Roki Sasaki before he was on the market. Yeah. So that actually brought a little bit of a smile to my face this morning, because I was just like, yes,
maybe there's a chance.
Don't let them get away with this.
Yeah.
We need to sign with someone else. And so, I mean, it kind of. Oh, the other thing too, like with Roki Sasaki, is the fact that he basically blew off the Mariners, and what that tells us is that, a high-level pitcher like that who can control where he's going to sign with
and control the game.
He's not going to sign with
a lower market.
He's not going to sign with a team that can't hit the ball. He's not going to sign with a team that he's going to get up there put up a
do his job.
Do his job,
Yeah.
and then the guys at the plate are just going to drop the bet. They're not going to be able to do anything. So it shows that, like, to a lot of players, a lot of pitchers, and a lot of good talent in the MLB, we're toxic.
Yeah.
We're not a team that they want to sign with. I mean, besides Donovan Solano, Miles Mastroboni, apparently they're coming on. They have some hopes for us. But, like you said, I'm super, super hyped for this MLB season 2025. Do I think that the Mariners going to make playoffs? No. I think it's going to be a rebuilding year. I think we're going to have
a little slow.
A little slow. We're going to take it easy. One thing, though, Pete Alonso, he's not going to sign with the Mets. No one's signed him yet.
There's a chance.
His price keeps going down the longer he's on the market instead of going up because apparently no one wants him. So Mariners swoop in last minute, sign him, fill that hole at first base because I don't think Justin Turner's going to get it done.
Yeah.
He's washed. I don't think he's got anything left in him.
No.
You go get a guy like Pete Alonso who's I wouldn't say he's necessarily in the peak of his career, but he's showing some pretty good potential. You sign him, you fill that hole at first base.
I mean, yeah, I'm always gonna agree with that. We've been talking about it for a couple weeks now. Get him. So that's really it for the Mariners. That's about it.
Yeah. For the Mariners, that's it. Well, let's talk about the Kraken. So you beat the Penguins 4-2. I mean, that's not a huge flex. I will say the Penguins kind of have one of the biggest fall offs of all time.
A win's a win, though.
Yeah, a win is a win.
We'll take it because if we're looking at the standings right now, we're officially under the Anaheim Ducks.
Yeah, we're 28th overall in the league.
And it's not looking too good.
Yeah.
We are
7th in the Pacific.
5 games out from a playoff spot, and that's 5 straight wins. That's with the Flames and Canucks losing That's with the Flames, Canucks, and Ducks losing every single game. We're 5 games out.
Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I think it'll definitely come down to those games we played against the Sharks, the Ducks, and the Blackhawks where we lose those games.
We got to win this lottery.
I mean, dude, you're losing to horrible teams, and that's what's going to that hits you in the knees, and you can't run away.
When we talked about that, I can remember us talking about it when the other Connor was here as well, that we were beating the good teams at the beginning of the year, and there's a little like we're treading water, whatever.
Yeah.
We weren't beating the good teams. We were beating the bad teams. I mean.
Yeah.
And we said it has to get to a point where we beat the good teams because there's gonna be moments where we lose to the bad teams.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where we're starting to lose to the bad teams.
Yeah.
But we never got to beat the good teams.
Totally.
So, and that's where the season is right now, just looking horrible.
Yeah. Well, we had a loss against the Jets.
These are best team in the league right now. So.
One of the best teams. They were on a hot streak to start the season. They're still pretty good. Great game, honestly, all in all, put together against them. 2-1 loss. I mean, you're in the third period. There was a minute left. It's 1-1, and I was sitting there watching. I'm like, all right, Bryce, let's just push it to overtime.
Nope.
No. And 27 seconds left. They just snipe it over the shoulder of Joey, and I was just like, no. And I mean,
we're just saying get it to overtime too.
Yeah.
Like that's what Kraken fans are hoping.
If you at least get to overtime, you pick up a point.
You get a point, yeah.
It was like you could have just held out for 27 more seconds. That's all you needed to do. I will say though, in that game too, great goal. It was a great series of events. Jaden Schwartz flipped the puck through center ice onto the stick of Capo Caco passed out in front to Matty Beniers. He just pushed it top shelf and scored. I mean, that line, Capo Caco, Jaden Schwartz, Matty Beniers, has been clicking.
I know, 100%. Caco and Schwartz haven't been on a little heater recently.
Absolutely, yeah.
Even though we've been losing games, but I like seeing at least those guys. At least, even if we're losing, you want to see guys build.
Yeah.
And Capo Caco's, he's doing better than he was with the Rangers and everything
Totally.
like that. He's actually finding himself a little bit in the organization.
He's grooving,
and
yeah.
Schwartz has found himself recently just getting points on the board, whether it's goals. He's doing really good in assists. Like you said, that line. Right now, I don't know if trades have to be made because it's like, who are we going to trade for that's going to make a difference? So I don't see anything in that aspect. It's more of just get through the season, hopefully win the lottery. I'm hoping we get a top 3 pick and change something. But because I don't know where we'd go from here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you. I think we want to, if we can kind of, I would never say that we should like bomb the rest of the season.
No, yeah,
or anything like
don't
that,
tank because there's always a chance.
But just hope that like we get like that first, second, third pick or something like that. But also at the end of the day, why aren't our first round picks performing? That's Matty Beniers. I've been saying that for a while.
Shane Wright and Matty Beniers have been nothing but disappointments.
I mean, Matty Beniers, I will say recently he's heated up a little bit, but all in all over the whole season, I need some more consistent.
He was supposed to be the guy when he first came to Seattle too. Him
and
then Shane Wright falling was a blessing. Everybody thought, like, how did this happen?
Yeah. how he fell this far in the draft and everything, and we picked him up.
And yeah, he fell to the 5th pick or something too. It wasn't like he fell like a whole round.
Yeah.
Like he fell maybe 3 picks, and it was like, what a steal by the. And then just nothing's coming from it right now.
Yeah.
Kraken, they're just it's getting to the point where it's just like start looking forward to next season.
Yeah. Not gonna make the playoffs this year.
No.
So just think about how we're gonna. Honestly though, if I'm Dan Bylsma, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily 100% afraid for my job, but I mean
you're thinking about it.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm a little nervous about it. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the Kraken. Let's move into we'll talk about the NFL. Not a lot to talk about the Seahawks.
Well, I don't think anything has happened. It's only been 2 weeks
into the offseason.
Yeah. And I don't think they can physically do anything
right now.
So.
Yeah, playoffs still going on. We had our bracket made from last episode. Let me tell you, on the AFC side, we were golden.
Perfect.
Called
it out. Yeah. Upset with the Texans.
Texans won. Yeah. Baltimore won. The Bills won. Mm-hmm. The NFC side,
we went the exact opposite.
Pretty much. So we had the Vikings winning over the Rams. Mm-hmm. Vikings did win.
No, the Rams
won.
Yeah.
They moved on. Commanders we said the Buccaneers were going to win.
Yeah.
The Commanders won. And we said we had the Packers win against Eagles. And the
Eagles won.
Eagles did win. Yeah. Well, so it was the complete opposite on the AFC and the NFC side.
Hey, well, I mean, AFC was probably a little bit easier, let me tell you that.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, just if we're going game by game for the games we got wrong.
Yeah.
Rams, that was a little bit of a harder one because we talked about they've been to the Super Bowl before.
Yep.
They got some younger guys. They're obviously a very well-coached team and everything like that. And they have experience, and that was the thing we were talking about.
Yeah.
And the Vikings just got completely outran, didn't know what they were doing.
Totally.
They won 14 games, which is amazing, don't get me wrong. Shouldn't have been in the wild card in the first spot. But I just find that it's insane. They gave up 9 sacks, just completely dominating that game. Rams deserved it. They proved they were the better team.
They might have won 14 games, but they were kind of, I wouldn't say they were a fraud, but
they're treading towards it.
Yeah,
it was
a little bit.
Sam Darnold couldn't find himself, and it might be one season wonder with him. Going to the Commanders-Buccaneers game.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield just couldn't get it done.
Well, it came down to the fumble, and you feel so bad for them. You truly feel bad for them. And then, but the Commanders, their last 5 games, they all won on the final play of the game.
Yeah.
And that is a crazy stat to have, and that's not sustainable in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I believe next round they're also playing the Lions.
Ooh.
I want to say so.
That's gonna be a tough one.
Oh, yeah, it's not looking too great for them.
No.
Because they're also, like we said, we chose the Buccaneers for the experience aspect, home field advantage, and everything like that.
Yeah.
Commanders are a very good team. They had the better record in the regular season like that. Mm-hmm. But it's going to come down to, what is happening? What are we going to do? So I think we'll do our predictions later, but
yeah, I feel pretty good that the Commanders moved on. I like to see Bobby Wagner keep moving. Former Seahawk, one of the greatest to wear a Seahawks jersey.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, so I'm glad to see him move on in the playoffs and everything. Him, even though he's really late into his career, he's not washed. He's not washed at all.
Yeah, and then
Packers, Eagles.
That was just a complete. The Eagles' offense didn't even do too good. The Eagles' defense just purely dominated. The Packers, outside of Josh Jacobs, couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Jordan Love was stuck in no man's land. I was very disappointed by the Packers.
Oh, totally.
Because I wasn't a Packers fan like that. But like we said, we chose them for a reason. I felt confident. They had a lot of stuff going in there. Obviously, they're a away team, so that could play a factor. But they just could not get anything going.
It's the Eagles now.
The Eagles are just – they were the better team at the end of the day, and it sucks to suck. The NFC, those teams could have gone any other way.
Yeah.
But
Eagles,
let's move on.
Yeah. So that means that in the next round, we have the Texans taking on Kansas City. I mean,
that's today. We're nervous. If there's any team the Texans are going to beat, it was going to be the Chiefs. I don't think we could have beat the Bills or Ravens. Obviously, I'm always going to have hope and watch. But if there's any team, the Chiefs are looking weak this year, but it's still the Chiefs in the day.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the Texans, but at the end of the day, you can choose who you want and write it down.
I mean, looking back from last week, we said that we had Kansas City winning it. I don't think so, to be honest with you. I think the Chiefs are frauds.
I just have a feeling.
I think that they are the worst, 14-win team in the league. 15-win team in the league.
Well, there's a stat out there that they're the only team to make the playoffs, not be the first seed, just teams to even sneak in, being a 9-8 team, 9-7, whatever. Mm-hmm. Only team ever to make the playoffs and not score 30 points in a season.
Yep.
And that speaks a lot about the defense. Don't get me wrong. That means they got a dominant defense. Yep. But that says a lot. Because there's no way your offense that can't be sustainable.
No.
Especially playing the Texans who have a top 5 defense, completely shut down Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Come on. Yeah. And they don't have that Ladd McConkey or anything like that where you think they can just keep throwing it to him, and keep throwing it to him. Because Travis Kelce, he's not going to get a 40-yard catch here and there unless he's wide open, but he has such a big name and target on him. No team's going to let him do that ever again.
No.
So, with that being said, I just think they're underdogs once again. Everybody chose the Chargers last night. We said 9 out of 10 analytics and teams, fans chose the Chargers to win. Texans are underdogs again.
Yep.
They're coming into Kansas City.
At home in Kansas City.
And here's the thing, they don't have anything to lose. Kansas City has a three-peat to lose. Wrong, 2 Super Bowls is amazing and everything like that.
Yeah.
But they have more to lose than the Texans. Texans have nothing to lose. They weren't supposed to be here. A lot has already happened to them. They're hurt.
People wrote them off.
They're completely done. But this defense kept them in last game. Offense started clicking. There's a lot. This is going to be a good game, in my opinion. And if I truly do believe if they don't score 30 points in this game, I think the Texans do score 30 points in this game. This is a good defense, so I think we go Texans.
I say we go Texans.
And there's
too.
just that feeling. There's something there tonight.
Yeah.
Like,
I believe in miracles.
Yeah.
On the other side of that, we got Baltimore versus the Bills. This is a tough one. They played earlier this season. Baltimore beat them
by like 20.
Yeah, they smoked them, and that's the thing we talked about in the last episode too. The fact that the Bills are not a complete team. Josh Allen kind of carries them a little bit, whereas Baltimore is a complete team. I was about to say Josh Allen on the Ravens. No, yeah, Lamar Jackson on the Ravens, Derrick Henry. And
I think Zay Flowers is back from injury.
Yeah, so I mean, like you just got a super strong offense, well-rounded team. They're gonna come in. I think that. I still think it'll be close. I think that, playoff.
Well, this is probably, playoffs play a fact. It's in Buffalo.
Playoff, Josh Allen in Buffalo. I think there's going to be magic in this game.
Well, if you saw, so ESPN always has like the projections to win and everything like that. I believe the Texans-Chiefs games is like 63% for the Chiefs to win.
Yeah.
And that's on like the circle meter and stuff like that.
Yep.
I believe this was the first time ever it was ever 50-50 in a game. Kind of regular season, Super Bowls, playoffs, 50-50. Yeah. I think this will be game of the year. Because these, in my opinion, whoever wins this game is going to the Super Bowl.
Totally.
Regardless if I'm a Texans fan, I think if we do beat the Chiefs, I think we lose next week.
Yeah.
But I think this is also 2 careers on the line between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson.
100%.
Because it's the worst the Chiefs have been in a while, even though they won 15 games. So that the doors, it's open.
Yeah.
And so this changes a lot of stuff right now because Lamar. I think at the end of the day, you have to choose Baltimore.
100%.
Because it comes down to a team game.
Yeah.
Josh Allen can only do so much.
Yeah.
And if you shut down Josh Allen's weapons, like Khalil Shakir and James Cook, who didn't get 1,000 yards, the weapons he barely has already get shut down.
Yeah.
What is there to do? So
there are 11 positions out on the football field. He can't play all 11 of them. He's only one man. I mean, you're right. Baltimore,
still going to be a great game.
Still going to be a fantastic game. You're right. I think I'm with you. Baltimore's probably going to take that one. And then like what you're saying, whoever wins that game is going to probably make it to the Super Bowl. Yeah. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I think that whether the Texans win or the Chiefs win,
regardless, the Bills or Ravens are going to beat them.
They're going to, if the Chiefs go up against the Bills and the Ravens, how they're playing this year and how they're playing in the playoffs this year, they're going to get absolutely I wouldn't say they're not going to get absolutely crushed, but they're going to lose. It might be a close game, but I think they're still going to lose.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So we got Texans and Ravens going to the AFC Championship. First time in Texans history, if this is correct. So this is a good part to look at if you're a Texans fan and everything like that. Heading over NFC side?
Yeah, so we have the Lions, and they're going to be going up against the Packers lost, so they're actually going to be playing against
Commanders.
The Commanders, right. Lions are going to win that one.
I think it's straight up the better team. David Montgomery's back. Insane stuff. The Lions, they were able to get healthy again with this breaks they had and everything like that. So they had the bye week. They have home field advantage in Detroit.
Yep.
And I know they're fiending for a Super Bowl appearance and everything like that. We talked about it last week. I thought it was going to happen last week with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but experience. The Lions have been in a lot of big games this year, including last year. NFC Championship, didn't win anything like that. And the Lions are the better team, in my opinion. Yeah. I think it will be relatively close for a majority of the game, but I'm expecting probably double-digit win from the Lions here.
100%.
Whether it's 10, 14, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout where they win by 20.
No.
But I think a 10-win game is probably up in the air right now. So.
I see that. I 100% see that. On the other side of it, it's going to be the Rams going up against the Eagles.
In Philadelphia.
Home field advantage for Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't say it's a no-brainer, but I think that the Eagles are probably gonna beat the Rams. I don't think the Rams have enough talent.
This is just straight up better team.
Yeah.
Like they had 9 sacks last week. The Rams put off an absolute stunner. I was very impressed by the Rams and how they played last week. But something that I just don't understand is how is Cooper Kupp not involved?
Yeah.
There has to be an underlying injury. There's no way he's only getting 3 targets. I see him get open. When they do throw it to him, he makes incredible plays. But it just seems like majority of it's going to Puka.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles are going to have a good scheme for them. It's in Philadelphia. And then Jared Verse, the rookie, who's probably winning Defensive Rookie of the Year, said, I don't like Philadelphia fans. Even Saquon Barkley commented on that, like, why would you say that when you're going to play in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
You're obviously trying to start something. So backs are already against the wall. Philadelphia is hearing this, like, why would you want to stir the pot even more when you don't even have the cards in your hand, basically? Yeah. So looking at that right now, Philadelphia, I think, has the better team.
Yep.
They have the O-line to stop this D-line. The secondary isn't going to stop A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Not like you said, a no-brainer, but I think this is another double-digit win.
Yeah.
And I think Eagles-Lions in the NFC Championship once again, that's going to be a matchup to watch.
That's going to be a super fun game to watch. It's 2
100%.
absolutely strong teams.
Yes.
But wait, if it does come down, so we're looking at the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
Between the Lions and the Eagles, I say Lions are going to take that.
Because that's going to be also a very good game. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles did win.
Yeah.
Home field advantage for the Lions still. I truly don't know. That could go either way. So I'm coming from a fan perspective of who I do want to win.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose America's team, Detroit.
Detroit, yeah.
And then, like we already talked about on the other side of whoever wins between the Chiefs and Texans, we believe
is gonna
lose to the Bills or Ravens.
Yeah. So,
and our prediction's still up in the air of the Super Bowl winners and prediction just overall for a matchup. Lions and Ravens we had.
Yep.
That's still up in there regardless if we got the NFC side wrong.
Yeah.
Lions are still so that's gonna be a good game. We said the Lions would win and everything like that. It's gonna be a game to watch for sure.
Yeah. That'll be a super, super fun Super Bowl if we get to see the Lions and the Ravens. I mean, that's kind of what I always hope for. Like in the past couple of years, I was hoping for teams like that, like for the Ravens or for the Bills or for someone like that to make it to the playoffs. But instead, you have the Chiefs finagling their way in there every single year.
Finding ways to win. It's getting to the point where it's starting to be impressive instead of just like how.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't think they're going to three-peat this year. I think that they're going to lose to the Texans tonight or today.
In about 1 hour, the game is kicking off from where we're recording this right now.
Yeah.
By the time you guys are probably watching this or hearing this, the outcome's probably happened.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's the Texans. Man, I'm nervous. I feel like I'm on the team, but everybody in America, but Kansas City and then Arlington, Texas, whatever.
The only people cheering for the Chiefs right now.
And man, oh man, I'm hoping it's a game. It's playoffs. It's always going to be a game in my opinion. But we're excited.
We're super excited. Yeah, no, that's going to do it for this episode. Let us know how you feel about our predictions for the playoffs. If we're 100% right, you 100% agree with us, or you think that we're just completely crazy.
100%.
We love to hear it. But yeah, no, that's going to do it for this episode tonight. It's a great day on the Palouse today. I'm joining the booth today with Connor Simmons. Thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you for having me once again. And go Texans.
Absolutely, yeah. That's going to do it for the episode today, everybody. Remember, it is a great day to have a great day, and go Cougs.